Hey friends, it's Lori. Welcome back to The Generous Poor, where we're saving smarter, spending intentionally, and pouring into the life we love. Today we are doing one of my favorite responsible grown-up things, a good old cash unstuffing of our week number 4 November credit card purchases, and then going into the budget together for December paycheck number 1. And I honestly can't believe we are already at the beginning of December. This whole year has just been like, who hit the fast forward? If you celebrated, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving full of good food, cozy moments, and hopefully not total chaos in the kitchen. And if you didn't celebrate, I still hope you had a restful week and maybe a little extra time for you. Before we dive in, I just want to say this really clearly. It is the season of giving, but so few of us actually put ourselves on that list. So this is your gentle reminder. Do what you can. Show up for yourself in a way that's possible for you this week, and be kind to you. If all you can manage is watching this video while you sip a hot drink or whatever your drink of choice is and think about your budget, that still counts. You're doing something for yourself. So that is just my little reminder that, I think sometimes, especially, I don't know if, male or female are watching my videos, but especially females, we kind of put everybody in front of us. And I just want you to know that it's okay, and it's not selfish. It's not irresponsible or anything else like that. It is, you've always heard the term, put your life or your oxygen mask on first. Put your oxygen mask on first, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So this is the game plan for today. Unstuff the credit card purchases from week number 4 in November. And we're pulling the cash out from my wallet and my binders to pay that credit card back, because I do use credit card and cash. And then we're going to go into my December paycheck number 1 and do a full budget with me, walk through my bills, my income, our cash envelope, sinking funds, and savings challenges, so that we can start this month on purpose. But you will see I have officially switched to my winter. I just got a set of little red beads, and I found this in our basement, a little frosted or flocked tree. And so it kind of set the whole vibe for this winter. I was sad to see my fall beads leave, because I do love those colors, but I'm super excited to head into winter. So let's start off with, let me grab my budget or my weekly spending tracker. I do this every single week. I keep a little tracker in my purse, and then I put everything that I spent. And we went to Virginia for Thanksgiving and had the best time. And honestly, the best part about our trip was that it was fully budgeted. And everything that I did leading up to Thanksgiving was in my binders. And so nothing was sort of unexpected. And I'm going to be pulling a lot from my envelopes today, but that's okay, because that's what you budget for. You don't want to put all the money in your binders and never use it. I mean, that's just not life. So anyway, let's get into, let me grab my envelopes. So those are my envelopes. And what I do is I keep my envelopes in my wallet, but as I spend from them and they empty out, I put the empty ones in my overflow binder, because I don't want to walk around with empty binders. So anyway, but Pearl gets put in my overflow. And so what I'm going to do is, let's put this like this, is go into my overflow and just pull hers out. It's just a good way for me to keep track, even though I don't spend cash. But if I do see a treat for her out, she's our Siberian Husky. If I do see a treat for her out and about, I will use cash. So anyway, that is $30 for Pearl's food. And that is going to do it, I think, for this overflow binder. And then now we are going to get into, let's do what's in my, let me grab my calculator. And groceries wasn't as spendy as I thought it was going to be, because I did budget my Thanksgiving envelope, and so I used that for a lot of my grocery shopping. So this week we just did, looks like we just did $129. So we're going to probably have a lot left over. So we have 150, 70, 80. So let's put in 130. So we owe this envelope, and I'm going to actually, now that we're heading into the holidays, I'm going to just put this into my I'm going to keep that in my overflow. I don't think that I'm going to roll this over this month. I don't know. I'll decide tomorrow. But we do owe that envelope $1. So I'm going to put right here +1. And we check that off. Spending, I spent 22. And we have 10, 20. So we have 22. And actually, I'll put my $1 into my groceries. I did spend a lot of cash while I was out, and I took my Thanksgiving envelope and I took my seasonal activities envelope. And so anytime we did something, it was a big family trip with extended family, I just went into my envelopes. And what was nice about it is we just got back, and I don't have this, like, you know, credit card hangover where I'm like, oh no, what did I spend? I didn't, you know, budget for. But everything I spent, I budgeted for. So household doesn't look like, oh wait, let's take spending out of here. Household, oh, here it is. We spent 50. So my kids, my son goes back to college in 2 days. And so we just had to stock up on cleaning products, paper towels, you know, random things that you need to make your house run. And it's, you know, things that you have to buy. So, especially when everybody comes home and you need to use all those things. So out and about is going to get 79, and I'm not sure I have 79 in here. So I have 50, 60, 75. So I have 75, and I knew this was going to happen. So I have 75 in my out and about. And so what I did is I said, I'm going to take $4 from my buffer. And so, I mean, you can't dine out anymore. I'm in the new year. I think I'm going to have to up my categories, especially for dining out, if we want to continue dining out, because it's just impossible to not spend at least $100 dining out. Okay, so I'm going to be getting $4 from my buffer, and I left 20 in here. So we have a 5, and I'm going to take back a 1. So now we have 20, 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39 in buffer. So minus 4. Whoops, so we have 39 left. And I'm just going to put this in the front because I don't want it to mess up my envelopes. So we're just going to put that in there. So now we took $4 out of my buffer, and that's what your buffer's for. You know, it's to, when you have these little overages, so I use that. What else do we have? The boys. So it looks like that is it for my wallet. And so I will actually put this in here for tomorrow so that we can stuff it. So I'll take that out tomorrow. We'll put this back. And now we're going to get into, so some of my sinking funds have prop money in them because I collect them throughout the entire year. And so let's get into holidays and celebrations. So, actually, I'm going to go right here. I did something new this year, and Karen over at the Faithful Dash collects money for her kids throughout the year. $5 here, $10 there. Sometimes she skips, sometimes she doesn't. And I thought that was a sweet, sweet idea. So on Thanksgiving, I gave each of my boys what was in their envelope. We have 3 boys, and I gave what I've been collecting since I found out Karen was doing this. So it was over the course of a couple of months. So I gave each boy $150 to sort of start the giving season. And they were surprised and excited. And so now we're going to be unstuffing this so that I can give my, because I took it out of my bank. So this is $150 for boy number 1. And I will wipe these trackers off camera. So each one, I'm going to take out $150. And that's all I collected throughout the year for each of them, which is a generous amount. They were thrilled. But it's just sort of an injection into the giving season and an unexpected surprise for them. So, but I have to unstuff it because I gave it to them. Gave it to them in a card on Thanksgiving, and they were stunned and loved it. So anyway, gifts. I'm going to be pulling out of gifts $100. We went to visit my nephew down in Virginia, and he just graduated from a program, and a college program, and so we gave him $100 as a graduation gift. So, and it wasn't something that I had planned, but it was something that I budgeted for. And so I am pulling that out of my gifts envelope. And so that's the beauty of that. Seasonal activities. So this is where I'm struggling. So seasonal activities and Thanksgiving. So seasonal activities, I spent $300, which I'm including as, our trip down there, because it was a fall activity. We went and we did a bunch of activities and stuff like that, and I had my cash and I paid for it. But would I put that in my Thanksgiving category, or would I put it in my seasonal? Because now Thanksgiving is going to have extra and Thanksgiving is over. Or do I take, and then seasonal is going to have a little bit extra, but I usually roll it over into the next season. So tell me what you do if you budget like that. What do you do with your extra money that you have? So I'm going to take out, I'm actually going to go 425 and 2. So I'll take $200 out of seasonal activities, and that leaves me with 300. And what I'm going to do is roll that over into the next season. So this is just sort of a bigger category for me to plan things that aren't planned, if that makes any sense. Because we do have older kids. My kids are in college, and when they come home, I want to be able to do things with them without looking at my budget and going, oh, I didn't budget for that, because they're not little anymore. And so I've decided in the seasons that I'm going to be budgeting for things that, if they want to come home and they're like, oh, I'm home this weekend and we want to go apple picking or ice skating or something. Ice skating we don't really do, but stuff like that. So that is for that. And then Thanksgiving now is, and I will actually pull out my Thanksgiving tracker. This was I funded it at $500 because I knew we were taking our trip, but I'm going to wipe that off. And so now I'm going to pull out 1, 2, 3, 4, 25. So I'm going to pull out 425. And so now Thanksgiving has 75. So, do I just 20, 40, 60, 75. Do I just leave that in there for another whole year? What do you guys do? It just seems like a long time. Although this is sitting in a high yield savings account in a bucket, so it could just be extra for next year. But anyway, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 25. So 425 going back to the bank. And one last one is, before we left for Virginia, my son was home. My oldest son was home, and he and my husband put up our Christmas lights, and they had to run out and get some new lights, and they got a couple of decor things, so it was $50, and that's what I budgeted for decor. I just budgeted $50 this year. So we have so much Christmas decorations that I just put in $50, and actually that seems to be sufficient. And it kind of helps me go, do you need that extra reindeer? Do you need that extra? Because we have so many decorations. So anyway, I'm actually purging rather than I'm, adding. So 150, 150, 150. So let's count this up. It'll be interesting when I do my count up this month to see sort of where I'm at, because this was a lot, 1539. So let's do this real quick. 3, 4. You know what? Let me put some quick sort on my fingers, because per usual, I did not do that. Better, a lot better. And this will just get moved from my high yield savings account into my checking account so that I can pay this off. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000, 100, 225. So $1,225. So minus. So we should have $314 in cash. Ooh, that doesn't make sense. So so let's see what we have. 1, 2, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So we're missing 4. Where did that 4 come from? So 1, let me count this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000, 100, 200. So let's see here. Oh, you know what? Oh yeah, I did pull out Pearl. Let's see here. So 30 plus 450. So 1539. So minus 1225. So yeah, that's 1, 2, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110. So we have, so let me pull out another 4 from my buffer to kind of true this up, because I don't know where I went wrong here. Maybe I put the 4 back. Anyway, however I did that. Oh well, it is what it is. $4. It came from my buffer, so now we have $314 going back to the bank, and that is 0. So what I will do is put this. I mean, after a big spendy Thanksgiving week, I feel really good about this. So I am going to put my $314 in my bank deposit envelope. This will go back to the bank to pay off my credit card, which I'm thrilled about. I mean, I feel so good after Thanksgiving and everything that we did, and you know, personal spending is allowed. We just want it accounted for. You know, things that I paid for, even though it's going to reduce what I've saved, this is what I accounted for. This is your life. This is how it works. So anyway, that is going to do it for that. I'm going to put this off to the side, and I'm going to put my cash tray, since I don't need it, right here. And we are going to move on to my cash planning for December number 1, which is bananas. I actually can't even believe that we're doing this. I can't believe it's already December. So this is for December number 1, and we are going to be cash planning 2510. And so we will go, and I'm going to be kind of working some of my categories. And then I will do a video on how I did that and what I merged. I'm just trying to make things a little bit easier for us, because, you know, life is complicated already. I don't need to complicate it further with my budget. So I'm going to still budget $350 a week for groceries. We are a family of 5, and I do cook for 10 girls in our town Monday through Thursday and for dinner. And so that budget seems to be working for me right now. I may inch it up a little bit more in the new year, but for right now, I'm going to keep it at that. And this is for 2 weeks. So we get paid, we get paid bi-weekly. And so this budget here is for 2 weeks. So home is going to get its $50. Out and about is going to get $150. I may increase this because it doesn't feel like $75 works anymore. Pearl, our Siberian Husky, is $30 a week. Generosity, this is not sort of our yearly giving. It is micro giving. It is if I see Girl Scouts out, if I see somebody selling things, this is so that I can give that. I may start building this up a little bit more because, you know, car wash tickets, different things like that are a little more pricey than the $10 I'm giving myself a week. And so I may start, I try to spend this category every single week, but I may try to build it up a little bit more so that I can do a little bit more, a bigger things. So, and then buffer is going to get its 50. So 700. So we have 1280 to work with starting here. Okay, and so we are going to be doing, the only thing we're going to be doing in my binders this week, in my iris binders, I made this one, but is inspired by Iris because I watched one of her videos, is I'm just going to be doing this one. So we are starting, we did our first 200. I made my first, so I made this tracker and each row is $25. And so I was slowly putting $25 in this. This is for, all this money goes to our emergency fund. And so I just moved our first $200 into its spot. All of these spots are 200. And this week I'm going to be giving 100 into this because we are kind of rounding or winding down some debt payments. And so I'm going to be pumping up this category now. And this is emergency fund. And then my games and my minis every week get 700. And that's for 2 weeks. So it is, my minis each get $50 a week, and then my games get $150. So, so that's going to be minus 700. So now we have 480. And then let's get into our binders. So we'll start with our high priority. Move this over here. And hopefully you can see the weather here is just really horrible. The sun, it just feels like the sun just doesn't shine. It's been really weird weather. Okay, so month ahead is, I'm going to start focusing on my month ahead and my emergency fund now that our debt is paid. Our consumer debt is paid. So, a month ahead is going to get 25. Emergency fund, even though I do the 10K, I am still going to be funding this envelope. An emergency fund is going to get 50. Sort of a double whammy, because I really want to get that funded. Home maintenance, I am also going to be kind of really going hard on because it just feels like everything seems to be breaking, and it's just such an important category to have. Yard and garden is going to get, and this is for in the spring, we do big mulch project, and it's not cheap. One year we had, I split a thing of mulch, like a truck of mulch with a neighbor of mine, and my husband came home from work and there was just a mountain of mulch in our driveway, and I thought he was gonna like lose his mind. So now we have someone do it because it's just happier. He's happier. we spent, I think, 3 weekends putting mulch around our yard, and it was a lot of work. So anyway, so health is going to get 25. I am going to be, every time we get it paid, going to be putting $25 in this envelope because there are 5 of us and our copays are $25, and I don't know if it's going to go up in the new year, but I just want to make sure that I have that funded. Travel and trips, I'm going to be putting $10 in, and I'm going to be rolling out a trip that we are going to be taking in the new year. And one of my binders, I'm going to be using it for, my 5K binder is for a big family trip that we're going to be going on. So wellness is going to be getting 5. Hobbies is like this, my cash stuffing. It's things that bring me joy. It's going into Target and buying beads or buying, you know, anything related to things that I like kind of tinker around with. So giving right now has 55. I'm going to do 45 just to bring it up to 100. So that is going to do it for my high priority binder. Now we're going to move on to my celebrations binder, and we've got to start over with my boy categories. So boys, number 1, number 2, and number 3. And we do not consider our boys number 1, number 2, and number 3, but I'm not putting their names out for their own privacy. And so we're going to be putting $30 into, $10 into each category. And I've got to wipe these off, but I'll do that later. Birthdays, we have 50. I'm going to add another 50 because we have a birthday coming up in January, and I want to make sure that I have that funded. Gifts has 75, so I'll do 25. Oops. I think I might have messed that up. Gifts, I'm going to bring that up to 100. So celebrate is what I have in here. I changed our anniversary, and so celebrate is sort of the big moments. And so anniversary, graduations, different things like that. So I'm going to put $10 in. Seasonal activities, I'm going to do, and I'm going to be replacing this dashboard with a winter one. I haven't done that yet, but I will. Seasonal is going to get 20. In fact, I'm going to, oh well, I'll figure it out. Thanksgiving is going to get skipped because we're done. Christmas is going to get its usual 100. And holiday next and on deck is going to get 30 and 20. Let's count this up. So we had 1280 minus 100 and then 30 and 20, and that's it. We did it. So we have $2,510 being put into all of my sinking funds, my savings, and our cash wallets. This is the structure that works for us right now. Yours might look completely different, and that's okay. But the power is being intentional. I'm writing in these so that tomorrow, when we do the actual cash stuffing for week number 1, I have a plan. I have no guesswork, and it just doesn't sit in my account, sort of going like, oh, you can do this or you can do that. We have a high yield savings account that has buckets in it, and when I make out my budget, I move that money in there so that I know what that money is for, and that I don't just see, oh, I have extra $500 for Christmas, and then when whatever rolls around that I really need the money for, that I'm sitting there without it. So this is why this plan works for us, and is, you know, this time of year can feel really intense. Money going out, events, gifts, kids, travel, all of it. And so this helps me stay intentional. And I just want to remind you, you're allowed to go slower. You're allowed to simplify your categories. You're allowed to put yourself on the giving list, whether that's rest, a small treat, or just staying on top of your finances. This brings me joy, and this helps with my stress. If I don't come to this every week, I feel out of sorts and I feel a little bit of pressure. And so doing this budget is showing up for myself. And when you show up for yourself, that's huge. Don't discount that. And this is just another reminder. I've seen a few posts about being kind to people on Etsy, and being kind to people in the grocery store or anywhere that you encounter them. Teachers, everyone. If they only get one smile today, let it be yours. We don't know what's going on with everybody, and a smile is free, and being kind costs nothing. So that's it for today's cash stuffing, or cash unstuffing and budget with me. We've stuffed everything. I got that money ready to go. Tomorrow morning, I will go to the bank, pull out this money, and I gave all of my dollars a job. So I will be back tomorrow with week number 1, December cash stuffing, and we'll actually pull the cash, stuff my envelopes, and start December feeling grounded instead of chaotic. If you enjoyed this budgeting along with me today, don't forget to like this video. And leave a comment telling me what you're focusing on this month or in the new year. And subscribe if you haven't already. It helps this little community grow. But until next time, keep saving smarter, spending intentionally, and pouring into the life you love. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye, friends.